we're super excited to I'm trying to see if there's anybody else waiting in the waiting room. So sometimes we have a big group, sometimes we have a small group. Usually in the beginning of the year, it's a smaller group. Sometimes it's like 20 or 30 of us. But I was just explaining to Andrea that this is like the social component. We all have like trainings and like all the things, workshops, and this is just a social component where we come together, and then however we want the conversation to flow, we can just like totally keep it social, or we can actually like share what's going on in business. There's no requisites, but this is where we just kind of get to hang out and know each other a little bit better.
Yeah.
So how old is your little one?
10 weeks.
Oh my goodness, he's a big boy. Hi, buddy. He's so alert.
I should probably put a bow on her or something, but she's actually a girl.
I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I have my own grandson that happens to every day. I hate that. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I also have a little boy too, and so it's like I don't care. If she was like 5, it would be one thing, but
right. Yeah, it gets worse as they get older, right?
yeah.
So you have the two?
Yes. I have a 2.5-year-old boy and a 10-year-old daughter or 10-week-old daughter.
Nice. That's fun. And where are you at, Sarah?
I am just south of Nashville in Smyrna, Tennessee.
Smyrna. Never heard of Smyrna. Smyrna,
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Nice. Well,
Yeah, it's really close to Murfreesboro, if you've heard of Murfreesboro.
Oh, okay, yes, I've heard of Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
I have a deal going right now. I have a transaction going in Clarksville.
Oh, yeah. I have an investment property in Clarksville.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, I have a deal going, and then I have like 3 or 4 agents that I'm really close to that are in Clarksville.
Nice.
So, hi, Rebecca. Look at you.
Hello. How are you?
Good. I was just I know this is your first one too, Rebecca, and I was just kind of explaining to the ladies that, sometimes we have a smaller group, sometimes we have a bigger group, but what we don't have here is like any set agenda. We all have no shortage of workshops and, like trainings and all the things. And so what this is more of a social component. So we just come together, have our favorite drink, sit around and get to know each other. I also love that like referrals tend to happen here. So that's always nice. But the conversation can flow however. So if you're sharing, if you have something in business you're sharing, if you have a struggle, win, you just want to celebrate the fact you haven't like choked a child, this is the place to do it. Because sometimes that's a win, right? Sometimes that is a win.
That's a win. That's the win.
I want to make sure we get everybody real quick. So, and
hey, Christy.
Okay, I want to. There's Christy. Christy, you are in Houston.
Yes.
Do you want to introduce yourself real quick? Because I don't think you know everybody on the call.
Sure. Hi, y'all. I'm Christy, and I'm in the suburbs of Houston. And that's about it.
Share a fun fact. Share a fun fact. You got to have a fun fact.
Fun fact. Oh, I have a cool fun fact. So on mine and my daughter's 2026 bingo card, we were going to learn to crochet. So I'm going to granny camp next month. And then I'm going to host elf camp in July.
Oh, is that going to be fun?
Yeah. That's so like, fun. Like all the kids, they should know how to wrap a present, make a bow, decorate something. And so I'm going to host elf camp and let my daughter and all her friends come over, and we're going to have elf camp.
I love that. That's a good fun fact. Now I got to go back to Sarah and Aunt Andrea. I'm going to get it right. Andrea, and get a fun fact from them. So, Andrea, do you have a fun fact? And Andrea is not in Phoenix. Phoenix is her last name, guys. Don't mess that up like I did. Andrea is actually, listen to this, Christy. She is in Austin, Texas. So guess what I told her? You're on mute.
I was trying to get the mute button. We're coming to Austin in April.
That's what I told her. I was like, we just need to come to. She's like, lady, I've been on your call for like 30 seconds and you want me to have dinner with you?
That's all right. I'll be here.
Good. Well, you can probably help us to know where to eat, because the worst thing is when you're in the town and you like pick the spot.
I'll tell you
so
this
many
much.
good things in Austin.
I live north of Austin. I live in the suburbs of Austin. So I don't go into Austin, I go around Austin.
Mm.
So I can get you some good places to eat, but I typically do not go into Austin. My experiences in Austin have not been wonderful, so I stay outside of there.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
Well, Kim, you introduce yourself, and Kim, tell them where you're moving. Riley can come on too. Riley's welcome also.
I know, of course she walked in right then. So I am currently living in Fernley, Nevada, but I am in Tempe, Arizona for my husband's work, and then we will be moving to El Paso, Texas, probably in April or May. So lots of changes right now.
Lots of changes, and she has been she's actually been doing, I shouldn't say actually, that's a poor choice of words, but she's been doing great selling houses in Nevada, living in Arizona. And so she has like 4 under her belt. So like, again, guys, just when we come to this call, it's just so cool to learn the different things. We had one gal a couple months back who lives in Texas and is licensed in Florida and like only flies in to sell her clients' houses. I was like, wait, what? And I was like, this is different. So Moms in Real Estate, we get to build how we do real estate. And this is one of the small rooms where we get to talk about how we do that. Okay, there's no way we're kicking off without introducing Ashley. If you don't know Ashley, you should 1000%. Friend, introduce yourself and tell them what you do.
Hey, hi guys. I'm so excited to jump on this call tonight. So, I'm an agent here in Beaumont, Texas, which is southeast. We're actually really close to the Louisiana border. But I also have a company called Welcome Home Press, and we've created children's books that help your clients with kids get them involved in the process of buying and selling a home. And we have a storybook, we also have an activity book and memory match game, and more things to come.
The cutest books, and she personalizes them. So it'll say like from Christy, you know, like it'll say Christy with her logo and all her information. They're like the cutest. I'm obsessed with them.
Yeah, we brand them to your business so that it can be used as a marketing piece for tax write-off purposes, but then also is just such a great gift to give to your clients that they'll always remember you by.
Yes, so good. I love it. Mariah,
Hey.
how are you? Mariah, do you want to introduce yourself? And I've been supposed to hold everybody to a fun fact, and I let Kim and Ashley off. So I feel like now I got to circle back and get everybody's fun fact. But Mariah, you can introduce yourself first. They'll need time to think about it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mariah. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. I've been licensed since 2019 and did property management for the first few years. I had my license, and then I kind of took a break from that. I currently work for a real estate tech company as my 9 to 5. And within the last like 3 months, me and my mother-in-law, who's been licensed here for over 20 years, decided to create a team. And she retired from her 9 to 5. So we're kind of like rebuilding her original business, but introducing me into the mix. So we're at the very, very beginning of our business.
Oh, that's exciting. My mom and I built a team. That's how we started. Don't do what I did. I spent like 60 grand and I was at Keller Williams and I was like, okay, I need the cubicle. I didn't qualify for like the exterior office, you know, for the top producers, but I got 4 people to join my team and we shared a cubicle and I spent like 50 grand. I mean, I had 20 signs. I had no calls, no leads, nothing, but I had 20 signs. I had 20 log boxes. I had all the things. And then I sat in a cubicle and had zero idea what I was doing. In fact, there's a funny story because I could hear the top produce, like I could hear the agents that were doing it around me, right? And I always heard them talking about top producer, and I had no idea what top producer was. And you guys got to remember, I'm old, so like back, this is like early 2000s. So like you're not like jumping on the computer and Googling things, right? That wasn't a thing. And so I'm always hearing them talk about top producer. I'm like, I don't know what this is, but like maybe one day I'll be a top producer and I can get whatever they're doing. Like 5 years, 6 years past. Guys, I find out it's a CRM and it's like a very affordable CRM. It's like now it's like right now it's like $39.99 a seat. Back then it was like $12 a seat. And I had no idea what this was, but I was like, one day I'm going to get that top producer. So that's how my career started. But the good news is Moms in Real Estate, we have so many people, including people like Rebecca, who can just shortcut that path. So you know exactly what type of team to build. Because I built a family team, wouldn't change it. I get to do what I love with who I love. But boy, wish I would have understood how to structure it different from beginning. Anybody else a family team? Or have their oh, really? So who's on your family, Andrea?
My husband.
Really? So your husband and wife team? I love that.
Yeah. He was licensed first, and I kept telling him, "You're not doing that right." I'm a very process-oriented person, and I pay attention to details. Like, no, that's not professional enough. You need to do it this way. And he was like, "You're not licensed." I said, "I'll fix that." So I got my license.
I love that. I love that. Ari, Ari, she is in the process of, she's licensed in Arizona, but she's living in Colorado, but she's moving to Missouri and to Kansas. And so she's getting her license with her husband there, and they're going to be a husband-wife team. So this is like a good connection. Now you have somebody else to call and be like, how did you do this?
Yes, I love
it. That'll be fun. Rebecca, do you want to introduce yourself, friend?
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name's Rebecca Green. Randy is not old. I'm way older than she is, so she is not old. And I've been, I love the Moms in Real Estate group so much. I love the team component. I've been building teams for 34 years. I started selling real estate when I was 19. And my husband and I have worked together for many, many years. He's a builder, and we sold real estate together way, way, way back. But that builder component and real estate component really ties nicely. So I love all the family businesses here.
I love that also. I love that. Christy, will you introduce yourself real quick? And Rebecca, we're so excited to have you here. Rebecca also has the She Builds program for team builders. So if you ever want like some official program for that, Rebecca and Kristen and Erin Etheridge, who's an amazing team leader out of Arizona. Rebecca's in Oregon, and then Kristen and Erin are in Arizona, but they're running that, and it's really good.
Thank you for explaining that, because I knew that it was Erin, but I couldn't remember the other connection. So
yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I'm Christy. Nice to meet you.
You too. I'm in Fishers, Indiana right now, and just serve the surrounding communities. I've been here pretty much my whole life, and just got into real estate in 2024, and discovered Real, super happy, and joined Randy's team, and super excited to be here. Buns Up is one of my favorite things about moms in real estate. So so happy to be back.
I love that. I love that. Okay, now I gave you all plenty of time to think about your fun facts. So the only one that actually said their fun fact was Christy. So now I'm coming for you all. So Kim, Kim was already getting up. She was already leaving the room. Goodbye. Kim, what's your fun fact?
I feel like I need to come up with more fun facts, but I still like it. I used to play roller derby. So now I call myself the Realist Skate Kim. I like to play on the words of skating. So, yep, that's my little. I need to actually get photos and videos of me showing homes or something with skates on, though.
Yeah, 100%. I think you broke your wrist last year. Maybe you're still recovering, right?
Yeah. I know. Right when I changed my name to Realist Skate Kim, I broke my wrist. That was fun.
Oh, man. It was, you were diving right back in. I love that. Mariah, do you have a fun fact?
Oh goodness. It's kind of embarrassing, but it's kind of like what I always pull out, and it's like a party trick sort of. I have two different size feet. My right foot is 9.5 and my left is 8. And so I have to buy two different size shoes everywhere I go.
Wait, how do you do that? Like, do you have to get permission to like break up the pair?
Well, the only store I found that will let me mix and match is Nordstrom. But all the other stores, I either have to buy two pairs of different size or kind of go somewhere in the middle.
Wow. I would like, so confession time. I'm a big girl. I'm a bigger girl and like I'm short. And so I have like all kinds of problems because I'm like, well, if that's going to fit my waist, it's going to be like trailing like a train behind me on my legs because I'm super short, right? So the other day my mom called me and she's telling me like, oh, I can get us these matching pajamas. And I'm like, Mom, sorry, God, I'm trying to be a good Christian out here, but I was like, Mom, if it's at all possible, can you get me a large top, extra large top with like a large bottom? And she's like, so you want I'm whispering from my house. I'm whispering from my house, like trying to be quiet. She's in Walmart. Oh my gosh. But so anyways, when you said that, I was just like the anxiety I would have trying to get two pairs of shoes. I love that. That's a good fun fact. And fun fact, I've never heard that.
Yeah, whenever I tell people I have like two different size feet, they're like, oh, what, like a half size? And I was like, no, a little bit more.
That's where you got me when you said the sizes. I was like, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Ashley, what is your fun fact?
I'm terrible at these. I feel like I'm not that cool. Um, so I feel like I've lived like so many different lives, like just with different like things that I've like dabbled in. And a cool fun fact is that I worked for a wedding designer for many years and got to work on a wedding that was featured in Martha Stewart magazine.
That is
So
cool.
that's
That's
pretty
very
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of wedding planners come into real estate. I think it's because to Andrea's point, it's like the control and like the methodical systemization. They're like, I'll just go from planning these weddings to planning these closings, right?
Yeah.
In fact, I like
And then
that.
I learned very quick that it was not for me.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Brides are nuts.
Bridezillas, they're a thing, they're a real thing. I try not to be a Karen, but I'm like particular about everything. I'm always like, you're in a restaurant. It's not right to ask about like, do not ask for the lighting to be adjusted. This is a restaurant. This is not your house. Like I always try not to be, but that's just how my brain works. I'm like, if you just like turn the music down a little and turn the AC down a little, and then you like change and move this thing and my dinner will be perfect. And they're like, I asked them the other day, I was like, I sat here because I wanted this ambiance above me. And now you rolled out that thing. And they're like, well, other people are getting sun. I'm like, the other people getting sun are with me. And I can go ahead and have you roll that up because they're with me. I try not to be this person. I say it with the utmost manners. And yeah, my kids are just like, please stop, until they want their food sent back. And then they're like, Mom, can you send this back? And I'm like, oh, now I can be a Karen. Sarah, what is your fun fact?
I'm with you, Ashley. You sound like everybody sounds like the most boring person in the world whenever you're trying to think of a fun fact. But I used to work in fine dining. Oh man, she chooses this time to cry. Okay. I used to work in fine dining in Seattle, and I've served a lot of really famous people like Andy Samberg, Melissa McCarthy, Russell Wilson, like a lot of people. So nerve-wracking but fun.
Is Melissa McCarthy I really like her. So this is a moment, like, is she nice?
No, it was a very, very brief moment, but she was just like, oh, look at like this was so cool. So no, I didn't serve anybody mean.
Okay, good. My brother, I forgot who it was, but he was in room service and he served somebody and it like killed it for him because they were like super mean. And he was like, oh, now I'll never like that person the same. And I'm like, oh, I know what that's like. So, I mean, I don't know what that's like, but I can imagine. I love that. Rebecca, do you have a fun fact?
Oh, yes. I mean, I'm still hung up on Kim's fun fact. I'm like envious of Kim's fun fact.
Right?
Okay, fun fact. I mean, maybe this is a funny story, but I have maybe two that I'll share. Fun fact, I was 19 years old when I started selling real estate, and I closed on my first home. And it was very quick after I had started, and my clients were like, "Oh, let's go out and have a drink to celebrate." And I was like, "Oh,
You
oh,
weren't old enough?
I don't know. If I get carded and they know I'm not 21, are they going to feel as good about this house I just sold them?" It just was all awkward. It was just all awkward.
I was just old
So
enough
then
to
I
help
had
your biggest transaction.
Then I had to quickly think about like which bars I had been to that they didn't card me that I knew I would get served at.
That is so fun. So you went.
So I tell that story, and some people are like, "Oh, that's so not okay." And I was like, "It was 34 years ago. I don't know what to tell you."
Dang,
So
sure, it
that's
was okay.
That was maybe a funny story. And then, fun fact: we lived abroad for 9 years. We lived in in England, and we lived in the southwest of France. And that was a pretty cool experience. And real estate is very, very different in both of those places. So I got to learn about real estate in other countries. In England, in particular, they have something called it's called galumping. I don't know where that word comes from, but basically, if you get into contract with a seller, any other buyer can come at any time and kick you out of the transaction. So that's called galumping. And I'm like, galumping, that's called getting screwed. I don't know what galumping is, but that is a bad plan. And so being a real estate agent there is so stressful. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, that would be so stressful. I love that you were like brave enough to live abroad. I always tell my dad, like he was brave enough to like come 3 countries over to a new country as like a 19-year-old and start a new life. And I was never brave enough to leave a block away from my parents. I'm like, no, within 1 block, like that's not happening. So I love that. Okay, who has not shared?
Okay, I have one more thing to say though. I think Kim needs to teach us how to roller derby. I think that needs to be a moms in real estate retreat. What?
Yeah, so
that sounds
all had to
amazing.
get Kristen to like buy. I told Kristen, so I had another company before this, and every year we did a conference, and I will say I have zero desire to ever do a big conference again. Like the stress of big conferences, absolutely not. But like fun retreats. And so I keep telling Kristen, I'm like, let's just do like a moms in real estate reunion once a year. And I'm all for it. Like, so now Rebecca, you can help me to get Kristen, and then Kim, you're going to give us, could you guys see me on skates? Oh my gosh.
That'd be hilarious.
That would be hilarious. Just watch her try to jump into a pool. Like
that's what I was gonna
say. Right, that's what I thought. I was like, the panic she had of the pool. Like, I don't know how she's gonna do on skates.
Only one that gets scarier as you get older. Does that happen to anybody else? Because my team's like, oh, we're gonna grow this year, and we should make a reel where you like take the plunge with us. And so I'm looking, and it looks like it's like 12 feet deep. They're recording on the cameras, and I'm streaming. I'm like, wait, what? And every time they go to jump, I'm screaming. It's like, and then finally I'm like, I'm the team leader. I can't not jump, right? Like I cannot let my team jump into a pool and not jump. So then I jump, and funny enough, we rewind it, and guess who was the first one in? Me. So I'm gonna act like I was real courageous. Thank you, God. Thank you, God.
We all just had to make sure you were actually jumping in.
That's right.
My grandkids were like, Grandma, Joshua 1:9, be brave and strong. And I'm like, oh, why did I teach them that verse? Okay, who has not shared a fun fact? Christy, I feel like you haven't.
I have not. I have a lot, but then I always forget them when I'm asked them. One fun fact I think I shared with somebody was that I used to be, so I've always loved, hi, how are you? It's good to see you, sweet girl. I have loved real estate since I can remember. Like since I was a little girl, I was designing floor plans. Okay. Like I've always loved homes. So when I was about 19, I think, I started working for an auto parts delivery company. And so I delivered auto parts all around the city, which meant I could look at all kinds of different houses all around the city. And so I got to know all kinds of different areas and my favorite parts of town and so forth. So then, and then finally I became a mom. My life goal was to be a mom. And then I became a homeschool mom. and then, whatever. So then by the time I got to real estate, I was like, yay, now I can go and actually go into homes that I've only,
That I was
toured
stalking.
and driven by, stalking. Exactly. So,
Oh, I love that. Isn't
Yeah.
it wild how life comes full circle?
yes, love the
I
full
love
circle.
that. Leah just joined us. So Leah, introduce yourself, your market, and share a fun fact about yourself.
Hi guys. So my name is Leah. I'm currently licensed in Arizona and in Oklahoma. A fun fact, we own about 2,000 books right
Wow.
now.
Wait. Watch this, Leah. How many do you own, Christy? Watch this. Christy, how many
Oh,
books
I don't
do you
even
own?
know. I don't even know the count.
What?
I just know there's bookshelves in every room.
You have books too? Okay, but the other Christy has a library
No.
in her house.
I do have an official library in my house.
How many books?
I don't know. How many books do you think we have, Corey? Thousands.
So Leah, Christy told me one time that I love you. That depending on how many books you have, like it becomes an official library. Like you have an official.
Yeah, you have to have 1,000 books to be an official library.
So
I'm
Leah,
about
you
to
have
show.
an official library.
So what
Jesus.
we're actually doing is we actually are building a shed into a homeschool library that I want to open up to the community. So we have a majority is kids like in curriculum. So that's what we plan on doing. So that's literally my goal.
Here's my library.
I love that so much.
I love it. I love it.
That's
In fact,
just for my books. This does not include my husband's books, all of my kids, and I have 5 kids, and all of them but one read.
Are those color coordinated?
They are color coordinated, and so is the decorations. Yes, they are. And
I
they're
knew
by
you-
genre.
I knew
And
you'd
by
say that,
author.
Randy.
You ladies are you guys are so good. I have some audiobooks. I have one book.
I've
but I
actually
feel like
never
it's the only
listened to an
book.
audiobook.
Really?
Never.
I wouldn't remember what they would
My book's
say.
the only thing
I would
read.
I would forget it. Yeah.
I
That's so
love
funny.
that so much. Okay, so did everybody get, you want to introduce yourself? No, you're gonna leave.
Yes, yes,
my-
she does.
My business partner, and she's gone. She's goodbye.
Jordy, come back.
She's hanging
Hey, girl.
out.
Hey.
She's also, I don't know.
Oh, I was gonna comment on your picture that I like your new hair color.
Thank you. I needed a change.
You know how people have support like therapy dogs? I have a therapy human, and it's my daughter. And I'm like, everywhere I go, I need her to go with me because she just like is always like, Mom, chill out. Like it's not that big a deal. Like she's always like talking me off that ledge. So maybe that should be my fun fact. I have a therapy human.
Who's not a therapist.
Yeah.
And that's such a true story. You're not exaggerating at all.
But
I'm
here's
going to Arizona for one day.
She is, but that's because my business partner on Moms in Real Estate was like, we're doing a rebrand. So stay tuned and make sure you tell us exactly what you think of the Moms in Real Estate rebrand. But I love her to death. And this is just how my partner's brain works. I'm like, we need pictures. Like we need more pictures. We'll be together. Like we're in Arizona. I'm like, we're not getting enough pictures together. We're in Orlando. I'm like, hey, we don't have enough pictures together. Like our marketing team's going to be upset. They want more marketing. It's fine. And then all of a sudden we do the rebrand and she's texting me and she's like, we don't have enough pictures. And I'm like, oh, we don't. And she's like, you got to come here. And I'm like, well, I'll come in like a couple months. And then the next text is, when's your birthday? And I'm like, I'm not telling you. And she's like, I booked your flight. And I'm like, are you kidding? So now I'm flying into Arizona. But here's the really cool thing. And I share this as like a token of inspiration, just in case hopefully all of your businesses are like beautiful and they're exactly how you wanted to build them. But I built so much with family over the years, and like I've heard everything, like don't bring your entourage, or like even people that were very close to me were like, I love you, but you can't have your family at everything. Like I always had like, you can't have babies here. Like I've always had like all the naysayers saying what I can and can't do. And I've showed them wrong and built businesses with babies on my hips. But also like just talk about how when God aligned you. Kristen then follows up. So then I'm calling her and I'm like, okay, when am I coming in? Blah, blah, blah. She sees Jordy and she's like, Jordy, we got to get you a plane ticket because I know your mom needs you. Like, and I was like, what a full circle moment that literally I now have a business partner that isn't like, seriously, you're bringing your family again, but it's like, okay, which family? You can't bring all 12, but let's pick one. So that's probably my fun fact. I live on a family compound, multi-generational family compound. And so we have 3 generations in one property, and then another generation. So we have 4 generations right here. That's probably a fun fact. And then I would also say the one I always share, which is probably so weird, makes me weird, but I cannot go to bed without washing my feet. So even when we're camping, I put like a water bucket at the getting into the 5th wheel. That tells you how well I camp, guys, getting into the 5th wheel. But I have to wash my feet. It's like a thing. I don't know. It's just a thing, like dirty feet getting into clean sheets just doesn't work for me. So that's my fun fact. Okay, I didn't miss anybody on fun facts, right? I do think we have a couple hiding. And just know, guys, this is the place to be. This is where you like make your relationships. This is where we go deeper. We build our referral relationships, all the goodness. So I never want to leave you out, but if I can't see your face, it's hard for me. So that said, I'm so excited we got to meet each other. I would love to hear, is there some, like, what is going on in your business? I would love to hear a win. I'd love to hear a struggle. Or you can just talk about your life also. Like maybe it's like, hey, like my business is good, but this is where my life has disconnection. Who has something that they would like to like unpack a little bit?
I have a question for Christy V. She has 5 kids and she still found time to read all those books. So I need tips because I can barely get my Bible time in. Nonetheless, do you know how many books? I have like 20 books that I keep saying since 2020. I'm going to read these books this year, and I still haven't. So, girl, what are your tips?
So another crazy fact. So I was a reading teacher before I was in real estate. I've only been in real estate like 2 years, but before this, I was a reading teacher. And so, but I still read about 300 books a year with 5 kids. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like how? Like you just are obsessed with reading? Is that the thing?
Yes, I am. Sometimes I will not go to bed at all and I will read. And then if there's a book after it, I can't go to bed because I can't sleep until I know how it ends. And even books, I've had a couple that I are not my favorite and I would never read again or recommend, but I can't not finish them because I need to know what happens. I cannot function without I need to know.
This is me with true crime. So like I
Yes,
probably
same situation.
I shouldn't go to bed to like true crime and Dateline and all the things. But I'm like, I just need to know, like, like just one more episode, and I almost watch nothing except true crime. It's horrible. It's probably
you ladies are all so much more interesting than I am. I'm kind of like that with Landman. I know it doesn't equate to true crime or books, but
I love Landman. We're about to watch an episode. I'm just waiting for the call.
You haven't watched
so we can watch it.
Who else watches Landman? Anybody else? So I watch Landman and I've been like, so a couple, I did a post a while back. There was another show that was like trending. It was, it was horrible. What is it called? Hunter's Wives. And I watched like 2 up and I had like massive conviction. And I was just like, so I did a whole post on like, obviously I'm a Christian. And so, but for me, I was like, wait, how are people watching this? Like, it's the kind of show that like, I would never even want to tell somebody I watched an episode because they're going to be like, what? They're going to have an opinion. Like if you're watching this, like, anyway, so I'm digressing because I got a lot of conviction around shows. And now I'm watching Landman and it's not, it's a little, it's a little, but it's not that, right? But I'm like, God, please, like, can we get through another season with no conviction around Landman? I don't want to stop Landman. Please let me keep watching Landman, God. So it is like my naughty indulgence right now. But it is so good. If you haven't watched Landman, Ashley, you haven't watched Landman? Andrea, do you watch TV, Andrea?
I do, but it's after I get in bed at night and I'm decompressing. So, and those shows are like Frasier from 30 years ago. Andy Griffith show.
I love the Andy Griffith show, but it has to be the black and white version.
Yes, yeah. So I will say that my oldest son got us started on Blacklist in probably September, October, but the fall is extremely busy for our family. So we've been binge watching that when we have time, which is not very much. But other than that, no, I really don't watch TV.
Yeah.
I'm too busy.
I know that feeling. We have like our couple shows, which Landman on Sunday nights, once we all get back from like all the things, like Sunday night we do that. And then Law and Order SUV is like our other one. We are the ones that I surprised my whole family with so I said, okay, everybody gets to open a Christmas Eve present. This was several years back. And they opened it and it was a pair of pajamas and a red-eye ticket to New York, leaving in like 4 hours. And so we all, like 14 of us, got on a jet and we got on JetBlue and did the red eye to New York. And we spent like 14 days. And my family's much more cultured, I guess I'll say now. But back then when we went to New York, I couldn't, like, first off, I found this Airbnb in Harlem and my family just fell in love with Harlem, like walking down to the bodega and getting their food every day. Like they just fell in love with this experience. But do you know what we did in New York? We watched every SUV that ever existed. I was like, guys, can we leave the, whatever they're called, flats or whatever? I'm like, this is wild. And they're like, fine, let's go on a tour to see the stairs. So we saw the stairs of like Law and Order where it was, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, so that's how deep like SVU has been for my family. It's been like a staple for like 20 years. I love that. What else? Are there any other, so Ari, you took us to books and we brought that right to show. I love that. Who else has something that they want to share or talk about or unpack any of that? How's everybody feeling going into 2026? Anybody feel like somebody just like set the market on fire, or is that just me? Yeah. So you're seeing it in Texas and Oregon. Our market I had 3 different listings that had just been sitting. And I think they had all crossed the 60-day on market, like days on market. And then within, I want to say 24 or 48 hours, I got multiple offers on all of them. And they were just coming in different ways. And I was like trying to balance it. And Ari knows, like I made a big mistake today. I had multiple offers coming in on one, and love me or hate me, but I'm a 3.5% listing agent. So I take a bigger portion on the listing side. And so in this case, it's going to help save me because we were negotiating, we were going back and forth, and I had made a suggestion on what to counter to my client. And so it was 4 items. It was reducing the buyer's agent, because we're still seeing a lot of credits to buyers. So we're reducing that to 2.5, reducing the buyer's agent commission from 3 to 2.5, reducing and then garage doors as is, they ask for openers, and then our escrow company. So those 4, I think, were them. Anyways, I made a mistake and didn't double check things. And then I prematurely sent the wrong counter. And when I got it back accepted, I realized that I didn't counter the agent's commission. So then I immediately was like, I'm so sorry, this was a mistake. Is there any way you would graciously like amend? The agent was like, yeah, no, I'm keeping my full commission, thanks. And I was like, okay, well, so I'm praying about it. I talked to my client about it. My client missed it also, but I ultimately feel like that's on me. Like it's my job to look out for my client. So my client was like, well, let's see what she says. And I haven't circled back to tell him no. But anyway, so I was like sitting with that. And then today I got my lashes done. That's like my little thing. I don't wear makeup or do anything, but I'm like, I love my lashes. They really help with age. But so I got my lashes done and I'm like opening my eyes to catch up. And I see the title company. I'm like, I don't do that title company. So then I check. I forgot the counter I sent didn't have the title company. So then it said the wrong title company. And I was just like, okay, the market has shifted. And I had a verbal offer coming in. I had a cash offer coming in. I was sending a counter out. I was trying to give everybody fair chance. I missed it. Like, I'm like, stop beating yourself up. But all of that to say, I was like, what just happened to the market? Like, what just happened? There was nothing. And one guy was like, oh, well, the holiday's over. And I was like, I might be wrong, but I think the holidays were over like 25 days ago. No? Anybody else just see like a massive uptick all of a sudden? I feel like Rebecca's looking for the unmute, or maybe not. She was like using me.
No, we've had it's been a great January. It was a really slow December for my entire team. And December has historically been one of our busiest months year in and year out. I know that's not typical, but this December was completely dead. And then January has been crazy. People from 2025 who had put selling on the back burner have come back, into the mix. Hey, first of the year is over. We kind of got through the holidays. Let's go ahead and get back on the market. So in all of the coaching calls that I've had this week, it's been a general consensus that, okay, we're really excited about 2026. Things have definitely changed. And I, of course, love that. A lot of agents came out of 2025 thinking, woof, that was a lot. What happened there? Didn't love that. And I do have a lot of agents that are coming to me and they're like, man, it was such a bad year last year. But I think it was one way or the other for every agent. It was either like their best year ever, weirdly, or it was their worst year ever. I felt like there was no in between.
Yeah, I agree. I also think a lot of it had to do with the groundwork that was laid in the years prior. So I think a lot of agents, and myself, even in some aspects, like had got used to, the cocaine fueled frat party of 2020 that kind of played over into 2021 and then 2022. And then it was like 23 and 24 weren't brutal enough to expose if you were not doing the right things. But 2025 was. 2025 was the year that if you had not been nurturing things, if you had not been laying into your business, I'm very thankful. The year was lower for me than most years, but I'm very thankful that because of my years in business, I had some protection. But I could see agents that hadn't done the right things in the years past, and it was like brutal for them. But the other agents that like kept doing the right things through 23, 24, I mean, their businesses exploded. I'm talking like massive market share increases and like, record breaking years. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Anybody else? How's everybody else's market looking?
Here in Houston, it's pretty picked up. I don't know if it's like this all over Texas. Ashley, is it picking up over there too?
Yeah, it's picking up. It's still really slow though.
I have 13 active clients right now that are going to close from now until April, and that'll be my most closings ever. That's beat my other 2 years in real estate.
That's amazing.
Yeah, she left being a full-time teacher and came over, and within like, what was it, 8 months, you were able to replace your teacher salary with real estate, right?
Yeah, my first year, so I left teaching in August of 2023, and I made all but like $13,000 my first year of what I brought home as a teacher. And then my second year, I actually beat it by like $2,000. So this year I'm going to double it. That's my goal.
Oh, good.
I'm working my booty off though, man.
Yeah, no, I think that's so good. Mariah, how's it been for you? I know Arizona is like a very saturated market.
It is. I probably have a little bit of a different perspective just because again, I'm just sort of getting into it. But so far, I mean, without having to pay for leads and stuff, it's been a very kind of slow start for us. So
yeah. I mean, one thing I do always say, and Rebecca probably has something to add to this too, but I always try to tell agents, like you're going to have a suffering point, and what you have to choose is where your suffering point is going to be. And your suffering point, when you build a highly life-giving, profitable business that is sustainable, that is going to be a business that, supports your life and not vice versa, your suffering point is in the build. It's upfront. It's upfront, doing the right work, sowing the foundation, building the relationships. And it's the suffering comes because the success and the income is delayed, right? But so many agents, especially newer agents, they don't want that suffering period. They maybe it's not even, maybe better said is like, it's the doing the work for the harvest, right? It's the gardening period. It's doing all the things. And then they go and join the teams, and then they go for the low hanging fruit. And it's like, I just met with an agent this week. And it's inevitably the same story. Okay, I've been on the team 2 years and now I've hit a point of contention because now I realize I have to do double the amount of work. And not all teams are like this, right? But the ones that have the lower hanging fruit, where you're getting like the Op Cities or the Zillow Flex, they have referral fees, and then they have team splits. And I mean, so some of these agents, I mean, I've seen agents that are netting literally 12% on a deal. I've seen agents that are getting top producer awards, and they're in the millionaires club, the $1 million club, or whatever it is for the team, and they cannot pay their mortgage, right? And so now they've reached a point of contention, or maybe they're doing great and making money, but like they have to do 3 times what they would if that was organic business, and if they didn't have 5 people taking a cut. And so then they have that, then the suffering comes. It's like, okay, now I've got to wean myself off, and now I got to figure out how to go do it. But if you can get through your first year, which is usually what I feel is like the most brutal, and Rebecca, you might agree. But then second year, I feel like you start to go, okay, I can breathe. And then by the third year, that's when the harvest is there. Like by the third year, you're getting the come list me calls. Your life is changing. Things are changing. So don't get discouraged, but go in and build with such intentionality and know what you're building, right?
Mariah, when did you get started again?
Well, I got my license in 2019, but I was doing property management for a company here in Phoenix, and I did that for basically through the height of COVID. And then and now I'm working for a real estate tech company, and we just started like building our team, I want to say in October.
Okay. Yeah, that's still really fresh. So
yeah.
And just things you're doing now will come to fruition in 6 to 12 months. So you're putting in the work now, but that's going to happen later.
Okay.
And
but it's very important.
To Randy's point, what Randy was saying, Randy, I liken it to, there's a difference between doing a job and running a business and building a business, right? So taking the leads is doing the job. It's a dead end.
Yep.
It's quicker, but it's a dead end. Building a business, you got to go through the pain just a little bit, and you got to put the work in. But then when it comes together, you're much more profitable, and it's duplicative. Like you can duplicate your business. It is more predictable and sustainable than doing the job. And so for everyone who's new, think about that business building component. The agents out there that are doing the job, their business dies when they stop selling, right? And that's the cycle you don't want to go through. So it does take a little bit more time on the onset. I have an agent on my team who's been with me for less than a year. We had our one-on-one today. She was with another team, and that other team just fed leads, right? Those clients were never hers. She walked away from that because she and I had a conversation, and she was like, wait, you're like really teaching agents how to build a business. And I was like, yes. And she said, I'm not doing that. I'm building equity in somebody else's business. I'm building somebody else's business, and I don't have a client base. And so while she had her own client base, she wasn't really minding it the way she should have been. And she recognized that in 2025, but is super excited about all the work she did to kind of pull those people together in 2025, because that's what's going to really benefit her in 2026. And also, that is the cutest baby.
That is a well-fed baby.
She always steals the show.
And Mariah, too, one other thing I would say is the intentionality of a team leader. So, when I've had so many variations of teams over the years, right? And I've been everything from a mega icon leader to a franchise broker. And I've sat in all the seats with all the different caps. And one of the things is often you're limited to what you're exposed to. And especially when you're newer and your exposure is less, you think, oh, this is how I have to build. And so in different points of my career, I started to attempt to build the Rainmaker model. And it was very counterproductive for me because it wasn't natural to me, right? And so, I actually, a year and a half ago, I burnt my business to the ground. It was wild. That's a whole nother story, but I rebuilt everything from the ground up. And I realized for the first time, I had such clarity on what I wanted to build. And what I wanted to build was not a traditional team. I wanted to become an accelerant for my agents. I wanted my agents to partner with me and to get leverage. And I also wanted to build something that could have tenure. So I'm so crystal clear and I'm so confident on what my agents get that, of course, there's going to be attrition. That's just part of what happens in any business, right? But I also know that dollar for dollar, value for value, we are equally yoked. And there's no reason that it makes sense for my agents to stay with me for 20 years. And it also is a lighter lift because for the first time I asked, like, what do I want to do as a team leader, right? And I don't want to be out there losing my mind trying to get 100 leads to make it rain, right? Like, I want to empower other people to have life-giving, highly profitable businesses. And so now I get to sit in a better place that doesn't, stress me out. And so I would also highly encourage you, that, and it's not going to necessarily happen overnight, but as you guys are developing your team base and what that's going to look like between you guys, also start to think about like when we do start to bring this on, because inevitably that's how teams grow. Like, it either grows from a point of like, okay, now we've got too much and we need leverage, or it's like, oh, we're loving doing this and now my best friend wants to do it with us, or whatever it is. But you want to have intentionality, because the worst thing to do is start bringing people on before you haven't actually assigned the seats and you don't actually know the vision of where you're going,
Right. Thank you. That's great advice. I appreciate everybody.
Yes, of course. Well, we've only got about 5 or 7 more minutes, but first off, I'm just so excited. Thank you all for coming. I think this is actually, Christy, is this our first Buns Up Bras Off of 2026, right?
It is.
Yes.
It is. I'm so excited that you all came. And so every month, it is, what is this, the third? Is this the third? No, this is the fourth. So
The
it's
fourth Thursday.
Christy's like, I'll help you, Randy. You've been
I'll
reading
help
this
you.
for a
I got
while,
you,
but
girl.
I'll help you out. So it is the fourth Thursday of every month. And like I said, we're so thankful to get to grow this community, and we're so thankful to be over 40,000 strong. But guys, I love these small rooms so much more. Like, this is where we can actually come, we can support each other, we can go deeper in relationship. So I hope all of you guys will keep joining us, and then invite other moms as you're getting to know them. Don't let them get lost in like the huge group. A lot of us get lost in there. So come here, and we have some good stuff. And also let me know what you want to see. Like, if, I feel like this is a really needed social component. Do you guys feel like that? Because I feel like we're not short on trainings and workshops and all the things. So do you like the concept of the social component? Yeah. Okay. I love that. I love the connections too. And then I guess our team took a poll. I didn't even know that our time was up for debate, but there's a poll going. So if you want, you can vote. I'll figure out where the poll is, but they were giving me the results today. And I was like, wait, I never said we were changing the time, but they took a whole poll on like if we should change it. And here's what's wild to me. I know most of you are in time zones later than me. And the poll is saying that they want this later. Like, what? People want to be on the call at midnight? Like, the time
Later? It's 9 p.m. here.
It's 9 p.m. here. Yeah.
Yeah, she sent me, I'm telling you, my team, so our Moms in Real Estate team literally sent me the poll. And I was like, wait, first off, I like our 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But secondly, like, what? I read the poll and it was like the number one that was, oh, here, no, that's not it. I can't find it. But the number one that was tracking was for after 6 p.m. on Thursday nights. And I was like, do they know it's Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m.? Because that's pretty late.
That's what I'm thinking. Like,
I don't think
maybe
they realize the time zone difference.
Yeah.
That is very possible. That is very possible.
I can see where there'd be a lot of moms at 6 p.m. would be a hard time. Like, that's right during dinner time. And so I can see where that might be a struggle if they're thinking, if there's that many moms at 6 p.m. But yeah.
Regular. But for most people, I think Rebecca and I are West Coast, and then Kim, and but I think Ari's an hour later. Andrea, you're 2, right? You're 2 hours later. Mariah, you're 1 hour later. Yeah, so okay, ladies. Well, anybody have anything else? Again, there's no like anything here. This is just where we come to hang out. But I always love to know that people got value. That's super important to me. I never want to take time away from your family. So if there's anything else that you guys need, let me know. Otherwise, we can jump off, and I hope to see all of your faces. And I would love to connect with you and know your actual like micro markets, because I'm growing my referral agent to agent base. So I'd love to know that. And so this is my human support in training.
That's amazing.
It helps to raise them. When you collect them off the street, they don't perform as well. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me. This is super fun, and I hope to see you all next month. Bye, ladies.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.